New Horizons, I'm Dear Darling, and shall we see what's going on our splendid island of Fawnhollow today? 5th of November, remember 5th of November, gunpowder trees on plot, bonfire night, here in UK. Are we going to see any bonfires? Probably not, because we have a second lockdown. Anyway. maybe there'll be fireworks, I don't know. You won't hear them now because I'm not recording at whatever time I recorded at yesterday. I'm recording much earlier. So, we'll see what's going on. Hello there everyone, right now in Fawnhollow, it's 3:28 PM on Thursday, November 5th, 2020. No really news to speak of today, horoscope. What? Am I okay? Maybe I'm not okay. My brain is not working. I just played some Opus Magnum, maybe that's why. Recorded a couple of episodes of that. My brain might be a bit broken trying to think through a lot of these solutions, but thank you CJ. Amelia. My style-savvy dear, to be truly fashionable, one must think of less obvious and even unseen details. I sent you a little something for you will see, but you will know to be there. Wear them with pride. Stylishly yours, Amelia. Thank you, Amelia. What could you have possibly given us? Holy tights. Alright, fair enough. Who's our visitor for today? Is it red? It's not red. That is a shame. Oh, look at this mushroom. What's this? Elegant mushroom. Oh. A wandering visitor. Alright, fair enough. I guess we should wander around picking up these mushrooms that have been grown. If only it was autumn when we had a 5-star town rating. Because that increases increases the chance of rare mushrooms spawning rather than these common ones. Someone's notebook been dropped. Whose do we think it is? Let's see what's inside. Hello, Amelia. Someone's notebook handwriting is mostly legible, but I can make up a word band. That is either Pashmina or Fuchsia. Probably Fuchsia, because we are not close enough friends with Pashmina yet, probably to get that sort of derivation. We saw Fuchsia over here, right? I thought we did. Yeah, I bet you are, Fuchsia. You're in a band, right? Rocking all day long. See, if this was yours and you say, huh? Found something. Wouldn't you realise? Oh, hate my notebook. So where'd it end up? You're the best sequence. Thought I'd never get it again. You gotta let me do something for you. You give me your shades? Triangle shades, but it's the best I can do. Thanks again. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, indeed. We're gonna have a quick wander around, see who our visitor is, before we start doing whatever we're doing. More cleanup, I suppose. All these house looking a little bit bare. When are we meant to get mushroom recipes and stuff? I feel like we haven't got any mushroom recipes yet. I suppose we should also take a visit to see which of our villagers are crafting. But anyway, yeah, fireworks night. Really talked a little bit about it. Honestly, I said I was going to have more anecdotes with this, but I really don't have any anecdotes about fireworks night. I remember one of my friends from secondary school had like a massive bonfire or something in his garden. I didn't actually see it because I didn't go to his house for bonfire night that one time. I just like went to his house beforehand on one of the preceding days, and I was like, wow, you have a massive bonfire set up here. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna have a massive bonfire on bonfire night. I mean, he probably did. Oh, you know what I was gonna talk about? It's because back in primary school we were learning about the gunpowder plot and all that. I don't know why I said all that. There's not really much more to it. The TLDR, some like 12 people wanted to blow up Parliament, so they put like gunpowder kegs or something beneath Parliament, and then they got caught last minute, and Guy Fawkes, the famous guy which basically took most of the blame, and then they got dealt with. Oh, we should also get rid of these. We don't need these here anymore, we've already got our own blue roses. But yeah, you learn about it in primary school. The thing I was going to say is I remember for some I don't know why I remember this. In primary school, the way we learnt it was we went to the computer room and there was, you know, those old like learning sites, like BBC learning site or maybe something else. I suppose we can start getting rid of Rowan's Fence as well, now I think about it. It was like learning sites back in primary school where you're meant to learn random things. Oh, we should move Rowan's house as well. One thing. And they always have like interactive Flash games. RIP Flash, by the way. Getting no more being supported by Chrome in December 2020, which is probably for good reason. Not probably, it's for good reason. What was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, we played like a flash minigame to learn about the gunpowder plot. And I remember it was basically like an interactive quiz sort of thing, except for it was also a maze, I think, at the same time. And I remember it was actually surprisingly difficult to beat, is all I remember. But I did beat it, I remember. And then at the end, you see a nice end screen of victory with Guy Fawkes burning on a bonfire, which is not as gruesome as you might think. It was just literally like some random, it's like a clip out guy and fire effects being drawn in front of him. Very comical. And I remember, I think I remember this because it was very difficult to beat. It actually took me like 3 tries or something. And I remember the teacher asked at the end of the lesson, say, oh, did you all manage to beat it? And then I remember this other girl was like, oh yeah, I did. And yeah, there was like fireworks or something at the end, and the people fell out of the sky, and I was like, oh, I don't think that was a victory screen. That was the Houses of Parliament being blown up there. Didn't actually beat it. And I was like, yeah, I did beat it, because you see Guy Fawkes burning at the end. And I don't know why I remember it, nor why I talked about it, but I just remember because it was a very old Flash game, which was very difficult to beat. And me being a kid being like, oh, I'm the smart one. I was like, I won't let this game defeat me. Don't really remember much else of it, to be honest. You remember all those like educational games that you used to play your computer back in school? Who was our visitor? Oh, it's Flick. Hello, Flick. I guess we'll go get some bugs for you. What was I saying? Yeah, it was educational games you used to play back on the one computer in your room, in your classroom. I don't know if things are different now, because obviously I haven't been to primary school for quite a while. And perhaps for some of you watching, maybe that's not what it was like for you as well. But it was for me. We had like a single computer in our primary school room, and we would... How would it work? Let me think. It worked differently in different years. Because we didn't have one in year 1 at reception. Year 2 is when we first had one, and you got to play on it sometimes if a teacher let you, if you finished all your work. Me, being a very studious and smarter kid, I suppose, than the average. That sounds really cocky. I don't mean it that way. It basically just meant I finished my work often much faster than the others, so I get to play the great educational games which we had, and of which we only had one. It was called Maths Blaster, I think. And there was, I remember, it had like multiple different mini games you could play on it. And the only one I remember is, I think it took place in like a theme park or something. I'm actually going to Google it, see if it's actual thing. I feel like it was called Maths Blaster. Maths Blaster. This doesn't look right. Oh, it's this one. Maths Blaster's ages 7 to 9. Ages 7 to 9. There's gameplay of it right here. Wow. Let me just mute that quickly. Thank you, Joe Hammett Games Archive. For archiving this, I suppose. Oh, this does not look like how I remember. I don't remember it being 3D. But the characters are the same. Where's the roller coaster video game? I have a feeling it was called Maths Blaster, but maybe it was a rip-off and it wasn't actually Maths Blaster. Or maybe it's a different one of these things. I don't know. It was called Maths Blaster, I'm pretty sure. And I don't remember any of the video games, any of the mini games. The only one I remember particularly well is the roller coaster one. And why do I remember that when you ask? Well, it's maybe it's another very full of myself reason. It's because it was a video game, it was a mini game that none of us could figure out for ages what you actually had to do or how you had to actually beat it. For ages, until one day I actually properly figured it out. And then I told everyone how to do it, and then everyone could enjoy how to play that mini game. It was great. And what I remember is it was sort of like it was sort of along the lines of an Einstein puzzle. I think it's where you had like a load of little aliens, like 6 aliens or so, and they all wanted to ride on this roller coaster, except that they all wanted to sit in different spots, and each of the aliens had like a different number on them. But each of the seats also had like a clue above them, being like, oh, the 2 seats next to me aren't even numbers, or something like that, or the seat at the front is half of the seat, the number at the back, or something like that. I mean, you had to figure out which number goes where or whatever. Is that like a helicopter flying above? What's going on? Can you hear that? I think it's a helicopter flying above. I'm not sure why, but anyway, I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to deal with that humming noise in the background. And there you go. And for some reason, it took us all forever to figure out how the game worked, because I don't know. Maybe there weren't instructions. Maybe we didn't read instructions. I don't really know. That's the only one I really remember from year 2, to be honest. I remember in like years 3 to 5, we had a different one, which I honestly can't remember what it's called. Mainly because I never got the chance to do it, because this wasn't... oh my gosh. It's so close. I think that's a plane, not a helicopter. I can't see it, but that was so close. Wow, that must have been so loud. You must have heard that, surely. That was weird. Hello? Reminds me of a great joke. What do we want? Low flying airplane noises. When do we want them? Meow. Thank you. No need to laugh so much. It wasn't that funny. Oh, I'm so terrible. Anyway, what's the thing? Yeah, these mouse games. We had one in years 3 to 6, except for it wasn't a reward to play it after you finish your work. It was like instead of doing the lesson for that period or whatever, you just got to do the computer learning task instead. Except for what was meant to happen is we were meant to do it in register order or whatever, so everyone would get a fair amount of turns in it, except for you know, our teacher kind of didn't like keep track of that or anything. So what would happen is the people who wanted to get out of lessons would always be like, hey, when am I going to have a turn on doing this, because I haven't done it for ages? And the teacher would be like, oh, okay, well then you can do it next or whatever, and they just get to go. So what, and me being a kid who, well, even a person now, a dear now who doesn't like to lie, I didn't call them out for it, because I don't know, I guess I didn't care that much, but also, like, I wasn't about to, if I wanted to play the computer game, I wasn't like, I'm not going to lie and be like, oh, I haven't done it for ages, because I'm going to wait my turn, you know, do things by the book, which, oh, what do you think about running over there? You know, good things, bad things. It meant that I basically, each year only did it like once, or something. What are we doing? A greeting. Oh. You know. What was it before? It was sup, brah, before. And be like, what, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't have any creative juices flowing, like, ever, apparently. That's great, Rowan. Anyway, yeah, so I only got to play it like once or twice, basically throughout the school year. Also, my other friends, they played it like every week or so. It just depends on how insistent you were, but you hadn't done it for ages. But I also think it's meant to be, it was quite simple, to be honest. So I think it was meant to be like supplementary learning, so it often went to kids who maybe struggled more with the traditional lessons and perhaps found this more useful, which is fair enough, because I'll be honest, I didn't need it. I was perfectly fine doing whatever lessons we were normally doing, and to be honest, every time I did it, I was like, this is okay. This isn't that fun. It's nice to get a change of pace, I suppose, to something different. The only thing I remember, because I don't remember like any of our problems, I remember I had a load of animals, I think, as like the mascots of the characters you spoke with and talked through. I remember one of them. One of the questions on it was how many lines of symmetry does an octagon have? I mean, it showed you an octagon. A ukulele? Wait, is this a ukulele we can actually play, or is this a furniture item? That's super cool. No, it's like how many lines of symmetry an octagon had, and I was like, oh, 8, obviously. It's an octagon, it's got 8 sides. And I kept typing 8 and being like, why isn't it working? And then, oh, what would happen is every time I did it, every time you, wait, hold on, what was that? What was that flat thing I don't know. I guess I had to check the recording. One of the recipes looked like a hat, and I got a bit confused there. It might have been a hat, maybe one of the fruit hats or something. I was like, oh yeah, obviously an octagon's got 8 lines of symmetry. Wait. Octagon does have 8 lines of symmetry, doesn't it? Or maybe it doesn't. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. Oh, wait a second, an octagon does have 8 lines of symmetry. Or does it not? Am I being stupid again? Am I being outsmarted by this year 3 question again? Octagon. I'm a maths graduate as well, which is the worst part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's got 8. What? Octagon lines of symmetry. Or 7? What? How's it got 7? 8. Yeah. What? I don't remember the problem, but I remember I kept typing a number which I thought was 8, but it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't 8. And I felt like the question was to do an octagon. And basically every time you got it wrong, they gave you another hint to try and help you solve it. And I remember them like highlighting 4 lines on the octagon, 4 dotted lines of the octagon, and then counting out 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was like, why is it 4? And then I realised that I misunderstood the question or something at one point. And I was like, oh, I'm so dumb. The answer's 4. But now I don't remember what question is. Because I thought it was lines of symmetry, but now I've thought about it for more than like a few seconds. That doesn't make sense. An octagon's got 8 lines of symmetry. I remember it because I drew dotted lines from like edge to edge. What? Maybe it wasn't an octagon. Or maybe I put 4 and it was 8. No, I swear it was the other way around. I'm actually losing my mind here. What was it? I'm so confused. Why would you draw 4 lines on an octagon? Maybe it was a hexagon. No, I'm pretty sure it was an octagon. But what question can you ask that resulted in 4? Because I remember them drawing lines from edge to edge. Sorry, from vertex to vertex. But why would you skip out the edge? Maybe it was something like how many lines would you need to cut an octagon into 8 pieces? Maybe something like that. Either way, the question was something I misunderstood, and I thought the answer was 8. And I kept typing 8 over and over again, being like, "Why? This is broken. It doesn't make any sense." But the answer was 4. And then it had to count out for me, and I felt very embarrassed. I was like, "Oh, I'm so stupid. How could this happen?" But yeah, I just remember it having to distinctly spell it out for me. And I remember looking around, being like, "Was anyone watching me do this and fail horribly at this question?" No one was, luckily. I guess it's not very fun to watch someone else do the computer problems. But yeah, that's the only thing I remember from it. I remember it being very basic though. I think it like taught you shapes and things, like, which is probably a bit late for year 3. I feel like you get taught about shapes in like reception or something, right? Year 3 you've had some year 3 to 4 to 5, which is, I don't know, somewhere in the age range of 6 to 9. That seems a bit late to be learning about the basic shapes. But I don't know. Either way, I didn't get much of an opportunity to play it, so don't really have much to complain about. And then, I don't know, did we have any other computer games? We didn't have it in year 6. Because we didn't have a computer in year 6. Year 6 being my last year of primary school. I can't really remember what it was like in year 5 or... I don't even know what year, but I think that was year 3 I'm thinking of. Yeah, not many of those computer games. At least the ones that you can play during the school time. Sorry, during the school lessons, outside of IT lessons. We don't need more customization kits, we've got enough. But yeah, sometimes at IT lessons we play some. I remember, I don't know, but this is just full of random memories now of these educational games, I suppose. There was another one where, for whatever reason, the year below us was having an IT lesson, and for some reason, we, as a year above them, went into the IT room and we had to pair up with each of them and then help them play the games. And I remember I paired up with this guy because I didn't know each other the year below us super well, but like I knew all their names, obviously, because it's a primary school, you kind of know everyone, but you only know them at the surface level. So I was like, I wonder who I should pair up with, who I should just randomly approach and pair up with. And then one of the kids was like, hey, dear, come pair up me. Pair with me. Let's do it. And I was like, alright, sure. You seem very enthusiastic. You seem very excited to pair up with me. Perhaps I had a reputation for being a smart kid, I don't know. But anyway, probably doesn't really hold so true anymore, here I am. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, one of the games we played was like a Boggle-esque game. I remember you played as fictional beasts, mythological creatures. Because I remember he was like, oh, who do you want to play as? I was like, I'll play as the Loch Ness Monster. And you had to fight a computer, and I think it was making words or something. I think it was basically just Boggle. If you don't know what Boggle is, it's like a 5x5 grid of random letters where you had to make words from those letters or something. I think that's what Boggle is. I've never actually played it. Yeah, we did that. I can't remember how that went. Probably well. I just remember I chose to be a Loch Ness Monster. Because, I don't know, Loch Ness Monster's kind of cool. There's also another game, which I think it was like a Tomb Escape game or something. I don't really remember. I'm trying to think of more educational games. There was ones we had in the lower years where we learnt about historical figures like Mary Curie and Louis Pasteur, Alexander Fleming. Is that his name? Or was it Ian Fleming? Wait, what? Hold on. I'm getting my Flemings confused. Alexander Fleming, yeah. Who's Ian Fleming? He's a writer, right? He's an author, yeah. Oh, he did, wait. Oh, James Bond, of course. I'm stupid as heck. I completely forgot. Now, Alexander Fleming, he was the one who discovered penicillin or something with some other people, I think. There's also someone else. I think Edward Cook, is that his name? Some guy who discovered that you could have cowpox instead of small, and it would mean you'd be immune to smallpox, something like that. Anyways, these like interactive flash story things where they teach you about their life. Pocahontas was one of them, actually, now I think about it. Where you learn about their life and what they did, and then they ask you on a quiz at the end about what you learned. I remember that. That was pretty cool. Like a discount horrible histories or that sort of thing. Not that I really know much about horrible histories, haven't watched it, I'm sorry. Or read. Actually, I read some of the books, I think. Don't really remember much from it. Yeah, that's a cool educational game. You know? As long as it's got pretty pictures. I was like, good enough. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot about this. In secondary school, we actually did have these educational game things. But of course, in the IT lessons, you're not really playing educational games as much anymore, because I suppose that's just the only way you can get kids to learn stuff in IT back in primary school. But in secondary school, you actually had to learn about IT stuff like using Word documents and Excel sheets. In secondary school, our maths teachers bought like the entire school, maybe the year, I can't remember, membership to a maths website called Mangahigh, which, as you can guess, it was a maths educational website, but with aesthetics of a Japanese manga. Which is weird, because I don't think the Flash games even had aesthetics of manga, now I think about it. It was just called Manga High. It was all like the on-site stuff. So think like Neopets, except for all the games are maths games. This one I remember really well because But there's quite a few games. There's Algebra Meltdown. There's Flower Power, Ice Baby, Ice Maybe. Sorry. Transtar, I think. There's a robot one which I can't remember the name of, and there's one more. There's 6 games, but I can't remember the other one. I'll go through each of them in turn, from favourite to least favourite. My favourite, Ice Maybe. This one was basically, you're trying to get penguins to bounce to the other side, and what will happen when a penguin will ask you a question, and then you've got like a mini iceberg you can move around, like a sliding number line at the end, and you had to put the iceberg roughly where you estimate the answer to be. So they might be like 55 times 11 or something, and you'd roughly put down your iceberg would be like, oh, that's somewhere within the 500 to 600 range. And you know, the harder difficulties had smaller icebergs, smaller ranges, so you had to be more precise. And it really encouraged you to answer as many questions as you could as fast as you can. That's why it's called Ice Maybe. It was all about quick estimation, giving rough ballparks for answers. I remember that because I was really good at that one. I got a gold medal or whatever. I had a high score on that for a year or something, or a class, or I can't remember. And I was like, sick. Ice Maybe, very good. And I remember I beat the hardest level, or the hardest difficulty, which is I think I was like basically the only one who really played that one, to be honest. I don't know what everyone else played. Second favourite, Flower Power. I don't really remember what Flower Power was. I remember it was about growing flowers. I think, oh, you know what? I think it was about growing, like, flowers would randomly grow up, and they had like 7 leaves or something coming out of a stalk, and what you had to do was like organise the leaves from like highest to lowest or something. But each of the leaves had things like, they had like fractions, decimals, and percentages or something. You had to, it was like converting each from everyone. And so I was like, oh, it's 3/5 bigger than 70%, and you're like, no, it's not. 3/5 is the same as 60%. That sort of thing. Apparently I really liked games which you had to work quickly. What was my next favourite? Transtar, I think. That was an interesting one. It was more of a puzzle game, actually. You had to use like graph transformations to flip, rotate, and translate certain shapes onto their destination, basically. That's pretty cool. I remember I didn't get a high score. I had a high score for a while, and then another friend, because you get ranked basically on how many steps it took you. And another friend got a higher score than me, and I was like, how? Because I thought I did every levic, like, min-maxed perfectly. Like, I couldn't do it in any more steps. He proved me wrong. Apparently one of the levels you could do it on, apparently with fewer steps, but he didn't know which one. So, there we go. Good job. Good job to that guy. Don't know how he's doing now. What's the next best one? Algebra Meltdown was pretty cool. It was basically like, you know, you put in a number, and then you had to direct so you put in an atom, the atom had a number in, and you had to like direct it through certain paths to make sure you like, it'd come like a split in a road, and you had to choose it, make it go down like the ×2 path, or like the divide 2 path or something or whatever, and make sure it got out to the product, got out at the end to the scientist who wanted it. Because the scientist wanted a certain number, so like, say you put in an atom and it was number 5, and it was like, oh, there's a scientist at that end who wanted 10. You had to somehow make it go through the ×2 multiplier to double it and make sure they got a 10. That was pretty cool. And then the last one was like a robot one. That one was boring, in my opinion. It's like a type racer thing. There's like robots still coming at your screen, and they had like mathematical sums and stuff above their head, and you had to type out the answer to blast them. And it started blasting, that sort of thing. And then you can like buy upgrades or whatever. It just took a really long time to play, so I didn't like it. I wonder if it's still functioning right now. Mangahigh. You know what? Let's walk in here. Let's see. I should talk to Ali about it. He probably remembers what the other game is, maybe. Because I remember Ali was like the champion of Algebra Meltdown. Because Algebra Meltdown was also super long, and I could not be bothered to finish it. I was a champion at Ice Baby and Flower Power. That other guy was a champion at Transtar, and no one else played the robot one, because I guess no one liked it. It's still open, apparently. Still got a website. Sold. Games. What games do you have? Wow, these are all different. Tangled Web seems familiar. I think that was one that was added in later years, because it was like in year 7 or something where we started using this Mangahigh thing, and so I didn't play this one. Yeah, Flower Power, it's ordering decimals and fractions. Ice Maybe. Linear equations? Don't know that one. There's a lot of new ones. Sigma prime. I think that was it. That one sounds familiar to me, but also might have been one added later. Transtavos? They got rid of Algebra Meltdown. And they got rid of a robot one. What? I can't believe it. Ali's going to be so upset. They kept all my favourite ones though, so... Really? Who's winning here? Apart from me. The answer is me. Anyway, should we round off this episode here? I don't know what I've been talking about anyway. If you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, subscriptions are greatly appreciated. Join me, Dear Darling, Discord down in the description below. Follow me on Twitter if you want. I hope we can see each other again, but for now it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.